When his mother was 8 months pregnant with him, their neighbors in Rwanda tried to murder his family. They literally ran for their lives. A month later, he was born in a refugee camp in Congo. Conflict arose, so they sought safety in Kenya. Once again, conflict followed them, so they moved again. They finally settled down in Togo. After the atrocities he had seen, Eve's heart was filled with hatred. He hated humanity because he had found little of it in people. Eve had a hardened heart because of his early childhood as a refugee, but that changed when he received his shoebox through Operation Christmas Child when he was 11 years old. He marveled at the fact that a stranger loved him enough to send him a gift when his own neighbors had tried to kill his family in Rwanda. At the very top of his shoebox laid a wool scarf. He had no use for the scarf as he lived in the tropics, but being taught to save everything and not let anything go to waste, he stored the scarf away. On their webpage, Operation Christmas Child describes their project as an organization that uses gift-filled shoeboxes to demonstrate God's love in a tangible way to children in need around the world. Throughout the year, volunteers collect, purchase, and fill shoeboxes with school supplies, hygiene items, notes of encouragement, and a wow item like a doll or a soccer ball. These shoeboxes are then collected at drop-off sites in all 50 states and Puerto Rico on National Collection Week in November. The shoeboxes are then prepared for overseas shipment at 8 major processing centers across the United States. They are later distributed as Christmas gifts to children in more than 100 countries. I have been packing shoeboxes with my family since I was very young, and I have been a year-round volunteer since the 6th grade. I have heard stories of how children's lives are transformed through these shoeboxes, and these stories are what make me passionate about this organization. Operation Christmas Child is impacting and changing lives of children and their communities. As I share with you the difference that Operation Christmas Child is making around the world, I hope you would consider donating hygiene products to fill the shoeboxes. With your donations, Operation Christmas Child can go deeper into communities and spread the great joy that comes with the great news of Jesus Christ. Dirt roads, murky waters, homes made out of sticks. This is the reality that many children face every single day. Poverty is very real. Families are constantly fighting to survive. The inescapable poverty that drives children and their families leads to hopelessness as familial tensions rise and families are torn apart. Emmanuel from Zambia is a real-life example of how destructive poverty can be for families around the world. In this month's edition of Operation Christmas Child Special Report magazine, they highlighted the story of Emmanuel before Operation Christmas Child reached his community. They wrote, 12-year-old Emmanuel's parents divorced 8 years ago. The sad little boy was sent to live with his grandmother, Judith. It's a story local church partners in rural Zambia have heard all too often. Poverty and lack of hope lead to divorce, which often leads to children being abandoned by parents who cannot take care of them. The inescapable cycle of poverty becomes an inescapable cycle of brokenness and hopelessness as children struggle to feel loved and accepted. This is where Operation Christmas Child comes in. Like a superhero that swoops in to save the day, Operation Christmas Child flies in, providing hope and love to children. The shoeboxes distributed by Operation Christmas Child make an eternal impact. The items inside the shoeboxes do not pull children, families, and communities out of poverty. A toothbrush and a Barbie doll does not shatter the confining poverty and bring them a new life of wealth. Moreover, toys break. Flip-flops are outgrown, and soap slowly diminishes until there is none left. But the love of Jesus Christ remains, and that is the most important impact that Operation Christmas Child could make in the lives of these children. The message behind the gift, the message of God's overwhelming love, is what makes the difference. It fills children, families, and communities with hope. While interviewing Donna Pierce, South Florida's area coordinator, she mentioned that after conducting a research in India, Operation Christmas Child discovered that the gospel pamphlet inside the shoebox was read on average by 27 other people. One shoebox impacts 27 people. If 100 children receive this gift, then 2,700 people are introduced to the love of Christ. That's the population size of most villages that the shoeboxes are distributed to. Though these communities are poor in physical materials, these shoeboxes provide an opportunity to be rich in love, joy, and peace. Next, I wanted to exemplify the impact and the real change that occurs through receiving a shoebox. Do you remember Eve? I mentioned earlier how he stored his wolf scarf away as he had no use for it in the tropics of Togo. Well, 3 years later, his family received refuge resettlement in Buffalo, New York, one of the coldest cities in the United States. In an interview posted on Operation Christmas Child's webpage, Eve said, "Was this a coincidence? No way. It is a promise to me that Jesus knew my past and he knows my future and what I will need." The scarf not only kept him warm in New York's frigid winters, but it warmed his heart. He became brave enough to take chance on people again. Eve continues, "Today, I love people." Now imagine if Operation Christmas Child had not come to Eve's village. His heart would be hardened by the violence inflicted upon him and his family. Instead of hating those who killed, he could have become the thing he hated. Instead of tasting God's goodness and faithfulness, he would have been trapped with anger and bitterness in his heart. So what can you do to help impact children's lives eternally? You could help by donating hygiene products that will later be used to fill the shoeboxes. The next time you walk into Walmart to buy some snack for class, consider walking towards the hygiene aisle and picking up some essentials. Things like toothbrushes and bars of soap can be purchased for less than $1 at Walmart. And though it is a small financial investment, it allows for a huge investment to be made in children's lives across the world. You can donate these items by taking them directly to the collection center in Hollywood or by bringing them to me, and I'll make sure that they make it to the center. Thank you for taking the time to consider donating towards Operation Christmas Child. Together, we can help spread great news and great joy. Thank you.